We're seeing a pretty scary trend now ever since the raid of Donald Trump's Mar-A-Lago residence among right-wing social media sites, message boards, etc., where there's lots of talk of violence, lots of escalation to violence type conversations going on. And, oh, this is now war. We got to prepare. It's really scary because, as I said in a previous segment and also want to outline now and will continue to say, you do have to, even if you're a conservative, wait until you have all the details. You don't even know yet. It hasn't been confirmed why this raid even happened. So let's just hold our horses. But regardless of what the outcome ends up being, this is going to be the response. They're going to at least talk of violence, and that's super, super scary. So I have a little bit of an NBC breakdown of this that we will check out and then discuss.
Social media is absolutely flooded today with threatening posts in the wake of the FBI searching Mar-A-Lago, and it raises real questions about what law enforcement could be facing. Those threatening comments started pouring in within minutes of Donald Trump revealing the FBI was at his home. Online, supporters writing things like, "Lock and load. When does the shooting start?" And "They will cry out in authentic pain soon." NBC's Ben Collins tracks disinformation and extremism and says he hasn't seen violent comments like this since before the January 6th attack on the nation's capital. Ben, as you can see, is here with us. Also with us, Frank Figliuzzi, former FBI Assistant Director for Counterintelligence. So, Ben, you've been reading all this stuff from the moment this news broke all the way through your coming out here. What's your big takeaway?
They are ready to go. And by the way, it's the same people who organized this stuff around January 6th. Some of them are literally the people from January 6th. One of those comments that you just saw right there was a man who was at...
Can we put those up again?
Yeah.
Can we put those comments up again?
Yeah, so the
Not
next
that,
screen
the comments,
if possible. Yeah. So one of the comments that was posted last night.
There we go.
Yeah, the second one there, as you can see on the screen, that was posted by a guy who is awaiting sentencing for entering the Capitol.
So he's already pled or been convicted.
He's already pled down, but this might complicate some things here. Because
you don't want to be his lawyer right now.
That's correct. As you can see, he posted about how this was, the Civil War. How are we not in the cold Civil War at this point? And he said, by the way, later on, I would say more, but I'm awaiting sentencing. So not particularly bright people, but these are people who are ready to...
Wow. So obviously social media is a massive place. How do you really measure this stuff? But I have seen multiple people who do analyze kind of social media chatter give this same take, where it's like, we haven't seen blow-ups like this for a long time, where talks of violence just become super, super common in these certain areas of the internet. And it's concerning because we've seen now this turned into real world action more than I thought before. Usually social media, people said crazy stuff. I didn't really care because I thought it would just stay on social media for the most part. But then January 6th is a great example of when they tracked kind of social media chatter each time Trump would tweet out, hey, it was January 6th, it's going to be crazy, and what they would say about what they were going to do and these violent depictions of what they wanted to do on January 6th. And then we saw what happened. And you see a similar fear here where people on social media are getting real specific with what they want to do, very explicit with their calls to violence, and that could put us in a really scary place. And from their perspective, if they think, again, like they did on January 6th, they're fighting for their dear leader who's being so persecuted, you can see how that could go really, really wrong. And a lot of them frame this like some big revolution, 1776, taking back our country, when all that's happening is the guy that you support did some stuff and our federal authorities are looking into it, as they should. Even people who were in power should be held accountable if they did things that were against the law. And so before they have any information on the raid, any information on what he's being investigated for in this case, they're already freaking out. And as I said in a previous segment, I don't think it really matters what details end up coming out and how justified this raid was. Either way, I do think this is going to be the response regardless. And hopefully it stays on social media and doesn't manifest in the real world. But I'm not super confident about that, unfortunately.